little section out here on the side, you're going to be making a long bevel through your good gel coat. So as you're putting your new gel coat in there, in that little section that's your halo, your edges, you'll get a little bit of the old gel coat color helping to fool your eye. So that's part of the right way you do that. This kit belongs to a friend of mine from South Shore called Scotty Laurie, and he's been doing this stuff for a long time. So here's like the kind of grinders that he'd be using to get your glass repair. That's the kind of tip he's using for something real big. This is big enough that you would use like on a regular drill motor.
The rest of that is for the Dremel, or that's for some other machine?
No, this would be, these are with this 1/4-inch shaft. This is you're using a drill motor.
Okay.
You can use a drill motor like that. You can get a drill motor that's a 90 degree, so that you still have that kind of same thing. Anytime that you're working with rotary tools like this, you always have to think about the rotation is always going to take you off over this way. You can kind of see as I was working here, you know, that's the kind of thing that's going to happen to you all the time. So you're putting on some of the marks that are going on with your drills. I didn't do any of that for this stuff because I was just going. Anybody want to play with this? Sure.
So what kind of drill bit is this?
That's one of the Dremel things. It's a diamond cutter.
Okay.
You get them. Some of them are very granular.
Yeah.
There's the ones. Some of them that are the V shape that are stone. You can use as well.
Is there any reason you like that one versus, say, another one?
Because I have that
you
one.
have. Okay, that's what I figured, but I thought I'd ask anyway.
Yeah.
So if I was working on this one, I would use this and just kind of
yeah,
smooth it out and round it out.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now this would be the kind of time where you'd put on, you know, you're going to work on this.
Yeah.
And
I have my glasses.
Oh, she came prepared.
Now,
I've got stuff in my eye lately.
oh, modest
Variable
speed.
speed. Okay. Oh, I don't know if I can do it this way.
So are you feathering it?
I kind of. There's a bump in the middle of it. I'm just smoothing that out.
What are we trying to look here?
You're trying to get loose material out of there. You're trying to get a space that's large enough that will hold the new material. So your normal scratch is like some little bruise kind of thing. You know, so once you've got something that's wide enough, you're trying to make the bevel in it so that you've got more here. Yeah. Same kind of thing.
Now, how do you know how big to make it? I mean, I could make this really big.
Oh yeah. Well, no, you've got you've got your edge.
Yeah.
You've got all the loose material out of it. I think I might tend to try and like where those little gel.
You just soften the edges so they're not quite so crisp.
Yeah. So you want an edge. You don't want an edge like this. You want an edge. Okay.
Now she said she was getting rid of a high spot in the middle. Do you really care about that if you're going to
Not terribly.
Okay.
Because you're gonna be putting a couple of coats of stuff in it.
So you're more worried about getting the edges cleaned up.
Well, the beveling, I imagine, would allow your material to hold. If you have a sharp edge, it's not going to be able to hold. It's just
If I ever work, they never want to pay me by the hour. Is that better?
Yeah.
You still got
Hey, you worked on it. It's better.
I could do this all day. Little type A going on here.
Okay. But I mean, that's
Close enough?
close enough.
It's this edge came out real nice. I'd work on that one probably a little more.
If it's just this, then you just run that tip
Yeah.
Just along it.
Yeah.
Just open it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could look on
okay.
this side.
Yeah.
Is that what you were
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, this
Nice.
one.
Yeah.
This one came out real
Yeah.
nice, but
Kind of the nature of the gouge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any time that 'cause we have spider cracking in different places on the boat?
yeah, we just,
Here, obviously, we're pretending that you came into the dock and scratched it up
Yeah.
or whatever. If it's spider cracking, is there a point where you say, maybe I need to look at this differently?
The spider cracking stuff is like, it's like it's like cracking the eggshell, but it's still hanging together.
yeah.
So the reason for being for gel coat on the one level is for aesthetics, and on the other level is to keep water out of your is being a platform for a sealer. The sealer keeps the water out of the gel coat. The gel coat and the sealer keep the water out of the laminates.
Mm-hmm.
The water comes in, gets into the laminates, and that's when it delaminates,
Right.
and then you get big soft spots in your boat. So having that spider cracking, the wax is not going to fill that.
Right. And the little stuff that comes in the tube to fix your gel
There's-
coat, that doesn't work for very long.
The spider cracking and stuff like that, you could either, every little one of them and fill each one. Or, take the area. Now, you don't necessarily have to work with one of those bigger units. These oscillating sanders, the Fanes, they come with all kinds of devices. Again, the same kind of sticky back. You get the same kind of sandpapers. You can go up through the grades like that. You get the felt pads. You can go up through the grades the same. So you're working in these kind of spaces with a tool like this. You're working in these kind of spaces with something like a quarter table.
Got it.
Fane, there's a lot of people that have, Fane has been around a long time. It's a very much of a workhorse. It's a German-built tool. They take a lot of abuse. They work for a really long time. They can be rebuilt. So as a professional tool, it has a lot of stuff going for it.
Dremel has a similar
Similar,
thing now.
Dremel has come up with, I think, somebody's patent ran out in the U.S. or something. I don't know. This is the
Allen wrench.
the Allen key that tightens this thing in place. That's so that this stays with here.
Yeah.
Oh.
They always get lost.
So rather than
But I
using
mean,
the Dremel to
That's for a
to
small.
get that out, you just grind down the whole
Yeah.
area?
you could, if you had a big area, you could really chew it up with that thing. Yeah.
You want those spider cracks?
We're not ready to fix them yet.
No, they need to be fixed. They're bad, but
Yeah,
really, I mean,
No, that would be like,
okay.
this would be I mean, but you can take an hour with 500 grit to get down to the gel coat, or you can take 15 minutes with 180 grit to get down. So, like, are you in a hurry? Is it a Zen moment?
Are you getting paid? If you're getting paid.
Yeah. Or are you working flat rate?
Right. That's what I meant.
There's all kind of angles here. This particular kind of thing, we were putting in a beveled through hull fitting.
Oh.
So that's how we got the bevel in that we wanted.
Oh.
So you can make special tools. That's where
No, you can make special.
no, you cultivate a friend who is a plumber, a carpenter, and a welder. Somebody who works with metal.
That says you did it.
Yeah, we just said we want something that'll fit on this thing and the shaft and just goes through the thing and sticky back sandpaper on it.
Nice.
Yeah, there's when you're working on houses are nicely
Right angled.
right angled. You know, and boats are anything but. So you're always kind of making special tools to make stuff fit and go around.
Spider crack?
So if there was a spider crack, if you had a severe spider cracking area, number one, you have to look to see if maybe you have some core problems behind it.
How do you look for that? With a drill?
No, you
Tap on it. Just see where it's on. All right, all right.
and if because if you get this, the balsa core like that, that's probably what killed this boat. Is that the fasteners for the stanchions perhaps were not sealed, so you drilled through a hole through something, and then you put bedding compound and you put a hole through there. What you should do is drill it out, take a Q-tip with epoxy or something, seal up that hole, then come back, then put your because you don't want water to migrate. Because at first, your stanchion is going to be fine. But then somebody's going to come and stop the boat. Yeah.
Even though you tell them not to.
Even though you tell them not to, you're going to have a fender hanging on a lifeline in a storm and it's going to rub up on something. You're going to have the spinnaker guys he's a little tight on there sometimes. And you have the winter cover, gets full of water and bends in. So all of those forces go down to that plate where it is on the deck. So those little forces might not bend the stanchion, but enough to break the seal of whatever caulking that you've got underneath there. So, okay, that's right along on the outside, and all the water runs down there and runs down into those holes, gets to the core.
And goes where it wants.
And they
And they have to keep rebedding that one.
Couple
Well,
boats.
trap between layers.
It gets trapped between layers, so it may come in up here, but then travels down someplace closer to the cockpit, or someplace else where maybe it runs into like a real solid piece of fiberglass where your primary winches are. So they put in a whole solid piece of fiberglass there instead of having the core deck, and then it sits right there. So you'll find if you go on walk on a deck and you go, you get that little bad. And then
That's a different class.
it can be done. Is done. Frequently done.
So, but let's say it seems like it's good underneath. We're just going to take the 500 grit or whatever and...
Yeah, I would start with probably with 220. 220, 180, something like that.
So you sand until you don't see the cracks anymore?
Huh?
What if you go all the way through?
All you do is just go with
After another class.
Well, you need to know that though. 'Cause
That's why we avoid
this.
Yeah.
Right. It's probable that you could go all the way through the gel coat.
Right.
You probably won't go through the fiberglass and cloth.
Right. So then you're just...
Unless you have really big, so it's like one of those kind of things.
Coat out and mix. Why not get it all? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The,
Where do I stop?
Well, and then maybe laying in this much gel coat as opposed to 800 little cracks.
Right.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
with
that way
like something like that, you've got in the area. So maybe you've got
Or we could just sell
you're up against the house, the house side here, and you've got a section, that'll mark off that's got some good delineation to it.
Just kidding.
No, but whenever you start going into some of these things, they can turn into a black hole.
Or we could just stand 8 feet back.
Yes, exactly.
All right. More
Basically, your procedure was anytime you drill a hole, no matter what it says, the first thing you do is take some Q-tip or epoxy.
No, not any hole.
Oh, okay.
Any hole that's going through a cord deck, through a cord material. If you're going through solid fiberglass, that'll be okay.
Oh, so it's the absorbent material.
It's the horizontal travel.
Okay, so any hole going through core material.
Yeah.
Then you
So
take
you-
a Q-tip first.
Yeah. Because you see how this stuff, like that's all like mold that was in on the inside of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where this all got, water came in. You can see that that's delaminated.
So on the
here.
inside, if you're seeing this, you're like,
No, that's probably just stuff from the inside. What I would look for is in the area where your fasteners come through the deck. If you start seeing little rust there or you see drips there, that would tell you that you might have something going sideways.
Then you're gonna pull it anyways, though, because you wanna
Yeah, because then
clean up the caulking stuff around it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So rebedding on Gunganier. We got our boat. In the first year, except for the Spinnaker track, we lifted and moved and or rebedded every piece of deck hardware.
Yeah, we're looking at doing that with ours. So did you do it after your mast was raised and everything, or did you do it?
No,
before
we
the mast?
we went for inside storage
Oh, okay.
and had like
You have the whole winter to do it.
no.
Okay.
And then you have to actually have to work over.
We did that with our stanchions too, and we had to have them flattened because they had, because of the pull on them, it had actually bent them. So we had to have them.
And you didn't know that
Repair.
until you pulled them out.
Till we
and
took them
looked and
off.
said, whoa.
Really?
All right.
She stood 4 feet from her boat.
That's a
This is
fun
going to
project.
be stinky stuff.
Stinky stuff.
Let's put on gloves.
I said that for years.
Okay, what are we doing now, gel coat?
This is gel coat.
Okay.
Gel coat has
I was just going to pass them along. And they're just going to be on the floor.
now. I use it.
Thank you.
Most of what you
I like
smell in gel coat is like the xylene kind of stuff.
Need another pair?
There are two kinds of gel coats.
There's hair?
Waxed and unwaxed.
Got more right there.
If you're doing multiple layers on stuff. Oh yeah, and the other thing, Walgreens at 7 cents a pair compared to like boat store at
Oh, yeah. We need another pair.
yeah. It's
You got to avoid the boat stores.
Thank you so much.
well.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's a lot of stuff that you can that
Doesn't
you
say
can only
marine.
get.
You need a gasket.
But yeah, and if you're at the boatyard now with the if you're there and Elaine will deliver your order to the boat, which she is doing as a service. You're there. You're at the yard. You need something. You forgot it. It's are you going to take an hour to go away? Are you going to spend the gas to go away?
I'm always the one in the car going to the store. Not anymore.
Looks like marshmallow fluff.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
That's what
So where did you get these handy dandy little applicators?
This isn't from
They
the boat
sell
store.
them. Yeah.
These are West.
West Marine sells them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some good smell there.
Oh yeah.
West
This is where they say used in a well ventilated space.
Yeah.
This will give you a
Not
headache.
kidding.
It's West System.
Okay.
Not West Marine, West System.
Yeah, West System Epoxy is not West Marine
No.
store, but I bought it at the West Marine store.
And they sell the little.
Yeah, a lot of
Stirs.
people sell the West.
Yeah.
The West Marine said, I guess somebody was trying to copy
Copy?
the West Marine system, so they actually came up with that. Everybody has to say if it's not West System because of this copy company.
Copyright. Oh.
Beware.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody take a piece of this too.
And I'm not going to play. 'Cause it's not really good to me.
No problem.
Okay, so do Sunday do little fellas?
I'll take one just in case.
Remember, somebody remind me that I need to put this on hard.
You need to what?
I need
the
to
lid
tap
down.
that lid down.
Oh, yeah. That's not secure.
Otherwise, I'm gonna knock.
Thank you.
All right. This is gel coat.
Oh, okay.
It's always white. You have to
Which is
taste it.
interesting. This is the smell that you get when you sing
Right?
the gel coat. You get different
Yes, this is like new car
So
smell.
you tint the gel coat before you put it on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I assumed it was clear.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you buy it? Because
Yes.
I was gonna say I will get the Huron.
Yeah. You can go. You
That's
can,
the accident art of it.
there's
That'd be my husband's run.
if you've got a newer boat, you can go to the manufacturer and they can send you tinted gel coat that'll very nice, be close enough to match. There's fade, there's oxidation. It might not be perfect 4 feet. You can go to, I think it's called Zing. There's a company that will, if you send them a hunk of your boat.
There's another hole.
Well, in this, yeah.
Please do that on the hard.
Oh, I have no, it's just one spot.
I have way more than you do, so don't worry about it.
Yes, but it's my husband's like, you're gonna fix that. You're gonna fix that. You're gonna fix that.
I just get a new husband. That's a really
No, no.
Okay. All right. So take a thing, take a sticker, smear it around.
Smear it around?
Well, I mean, just kind of not yet. No.
No? Smear it
You
around.
have
in your bucket.
you have in your hands uncatalyzed gel coat. Okay. This stuff.
Here's one.
Oh, thank you.
Nothing's gonna happen to it. It's gonna sit there. If you left it for a month, it'll get thicker and nastier, and
But it won't.
Okay.
but it won't solidify.
Okay.
good to know. Maybe she already has one.
We got lots of time to fix your dings.
Oh, here. So I bought 2 packages.
You got one for you, right?
Okay. So you can just kind of get the feel of it. What's going on?
Over smooth.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you'd be doing a little scratch like this, you'd probably use straight gel coat. If you're doing something horizontal, that is. If you're doing something vertical, not quite the
You
same.
don't want it to drip on your eye.
It's,
Move fast.
But it'll roll.
no. You add thickener. Yeah.
Same stuff you put in epoxy, right?
This is finer. This is Cabasil. You can put this in it. This is pretty fine stuff. This also floats a whole lot. See? You don't want to be breathing that in too much. Equal parts. Just a little. It's,
Consistency.
this is like, are you making
Flour.
are you making a roux? Are you making royal jelly? Are you making fondant? This is play with it, mess around.
What did you call this stuff again?
Cabosil.
We're looking for Play-Doh kind of
And
Frosting?
frosting, it kind of, if you're working flat on the deck, filling a hole on the deck, you wouldn't need any.
Okay.
If you're looking up on the side, you're looking for it some way so that it's not going to sag. One of the things that you would do if you're working on a vertical surface is you're going to tape off underneath it, so if it does sag, it doesn't stick.
Yours is thicker.
Yeah, I didn't start with very much gel coat, so I think maybe it was just more of the Cabasil. So this is probably too dry.
Doesn't stick.
Yeah, that's I would use that for something that was pretty vertical.
Upside down.
Yeah, you could use that.
Well, it's a boat. Yeah, I know. That's why I said upside down.
Yeah.
Okay. It gets nasty on this weekend. Gosh darn.
Yeah.
Definitely like thick frosting where it's time to,
get stuff
this is going to
Right. I'm like, oh, thank God ours went in this week. It had
Mine's
it
more
was
like
supposed
mayo.
to.
Mine's more like a really.
Yeah.
It was going to be yesterday.
So this, when it does kick off, this was straight gel coat. And this was kind of horizontal. It's very smooth, kind of stuff like that. This, most of you are probably not quite to that spot. This is kind of the thickened stuff. You're probably here.
Okay.
You're here.
Okay.
You're here.
I'm really goofy.
Where am I?
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, you probably.
You're very here.
And I'm
kinda
probably.
have to do
Is that good or bad?
Here we got spam.
It's reasonable. It's reasonable. The,
There
there is no good.
Can you do the drip factor?
I don't want to eat no bad rib,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Drip fairy. It's not dripping. It's not dripping.
Mine's just.
But it's
Oh,
still
drip.
malleable.
Full drip.
Yeah,
Um.
kind of cool.
So then you've got, you know, you've learned through trial and error the consistent thing that you want. I think if you're looking up the cap, you probably don't want to have more than like, I think it's 10% by volume of any filler, stuff like that. And we probably, and
Is that Cabo whatever?
Cabo Sil. This
Oh, look.
is some gel coat with pigment in it.
Okay.
Okay, so the pigments,
Oh,
if you're mixing your own color,
Boy, I come up with some strange.
yeah, this, you got black for getting a deeper color, you got blue, so what you're doing here, oh, that one's pretty old.
It's a little thinner.
I think this one's like dead. But this stuff, Scotty was saying that this stuff is ancient. He's been using this stuff for a long time. This one's pretty thick. Most of it is a little bit more runny.
Now, is this basically a gel coat already mixed with some
Coloring? This is pigment.
Just pigment.
I'm not sure what the vehicle is. But once you get close to your color, you can see how I kind of came through kind of a blue phase and got more yellow. So as you're working with this stuff, you just smear it on. Make another color, smear it on. Put it out until you get to where you feel that you've got a pretty good match of the color.
And so this isn't going to set. We can just wipe it off.
Exactly. Then you take it and you put it in your gel coat, and it's going to get a little lighter in color. So it's like mixing frosting, mixing colors.
so essentially you
It's
come up.
very easy to go forward. It's very difficult to go back.
Oh,
Okay. So then you mix it with your, and actually this is probably I did mix this with gel coat. So you get your color, you get the gel coat. You're going to be making 4 and 5 times more material than you're actually going to use, so that you've got enough to work here. If you have this uncatalyzed, you can, and you're making, that much. Have this closed off, taped off, closed up thing, and you can keep it for a long time.
Oh.
Like this stuff.
This is one of 2 parts, so the other part is not
Yeah.
added, so you can keep
Yeah.
it.
This is gel coat and the pigment, so I mixed this up like Wednesday. Yeah. So that'll sit around for a long time. I was talking about the waxed and the unwaxed. So the unwaxed stuff, you have to for this stuff to kick, you have to seal out the air. So then you have to put in what they call PVA, polyvinyl acetate. So it's basically you have to put seal coat over it. If you buy, and I would recommend this for doing small jobs, where it's kind of in your hobbyist way more than a pro way. Get the waxed gel coat, because then that'll have something that'll come up to the surface. It'll seal it for you. And you
So
don't
that
have to.
you have to
That only
either
with
add to the
unwaxed
gel
gel
coat,
coat.
or is that after you gel coat?
No, this is after you put the gel coat on, you let it set for about 20 minutes, and then you spray this over the top.
And that's for wax or what?
Unwaxed.
This is for the unwaxed. So this is the wax outer sealer that seals out the air to allow it to get to be full cure. These things are what they call pre-valve sprayer. There's a little compressed air. It's a smaller kind of thing instead of using like an airbrush. A lot of pros will use like an airbrush, but then you're getting into compressor and all the other kind of stuff along there.
So it's for a smaller job.
It's for a smaller job. It's for, you don't, you even at the boatyard, you don't want to drag your compressor around. Again,
Husbands too.
there could be that. Lids from like veggie things. I think this is like dried raisins or fruit from Pick and Say. This stuff doesn't stick. This is where I put these on, and this stuff pops off. And this kind of shows you. See how shiny
Chips to test.
those back sides are? That's like coming out of the mold. That's what kind of gives you the shiny. So, what you can do is cut this flat, put your gel coat in,
And then,
but obviously it's got to be flat.
and then you get a flat surface.
Then you get a really flat surface.
That's a great
The
idea.
flatter your surface is, the sanding you have to do.
Oh, that's a great idea.
My boat is going to be flat because it's an MC Scout and it's on the top and it's
Okay.
like this red edge.
Okay.
So what did you just do?
Okay, so
Wow.
in the sequence of events, drilled the thing out, taped off the area, laid in the gel coat. Now, in this case, I didn't take the tape off. But now, kind of, even with your gloves, you can feel, I mean, tape has a pretty good thickness to it. So what I did after letting it set for a little bit, I had a very damp Zylol and just went and feathered these outside edges a little bit. You can see how I smeared it a little bit more on this side. So it's any kind of sanding. Your sanding block is going to hit that high spot first. So something like this, I want to use a very small block because I used a great big sanding block. More toys though.
You have a very big sanding block.
Yeah, probably up here. So you're getting ready to take, sand this stuff flat. So if I'm using this big of a thing to get this little area, I'm going to be sanding out here.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Okay, so you want to get your sandpaper wrapped around something like this, or even, I think I got another narrow.
Smaller.
But you want it to be hardwood. You want it to be a hard plastic. Because even with its wood, you don't want it to be soft and expanding and contracting and stuff like that, because you're going to have it wet. You want to have a nice flat edge. So you don't want to have pine that's got a lumpy kind of stuff in it, because this is, you're making a mating surface. And you want to keep it flat, because if you go like that,
You're going to gouge.
yeah, you're still going to start getting this kind of stuff on your surface.
So where did you smooth over with the plastic? At what point?
When this is still drying. So this is so it's here.
Before you sand.
We've mixed our thickener. We've made our color. We've matched that up. We add our catalyst, which will be the next step here. Then you smear this in. How much? Ooh, we better move. We gotta move. How much time we got?
You have 5 minutes.
Oh no!
5 minutes to keep teaching, and then 5 minutes I need for the evaluation.
So we're gonna make this a little hot. Okay, so this should be, for this much, it should be actually just a couple drops.
And what do we do with this?
This is
after
this is
we've
what
got it all in
activates
there,
it.
and
This is
what-
ready to go. We're ready
okay.
to start.
Yeah. So this is your catalyst kind of stuff. You want to mix this thoroughly. With there are some colored catalysts so that you get a color change so you can really see what is going on. But then that also gives color
Changes your vibe.
you know, so if you're dealing with a white and now you have a red or gray under layer. What was that powder still? Cabo still. Alright, so we would normally tape off all these little scratches.
Okay.
Alright, so you would come over and take yours, you've got it all nice and taped off. You get maybe a little bit smaller amount on that and smear it into a crack. Just put it in. You got the square end?
Nope.
Aha!
You want the flat end? Then?
Yeah,
Sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. All right.
Sure.
So I need a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Go for
Put
it.
it on the end.
Put it in.
Okay.
These guys scratches there.
Hey, look at that. All right. Not so dainty.
I was using flat.
Which one are you taking, Robin?
I'm gonna grab this one. Okay.
It's kind of like a putty knife.
Yeah, it's like a little small putty knife. We're just going. So then you kind of really push it down to get it in there, and then the last stroke you go a little light to get it off.
Is this like?
And now we would have these things taped off so that all this
Yeah.
because something like this,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd be like sanding all that stuff off.
Did you really think
forever.
you could do the gel coat that thick in that hole right
Okay.
there?
So just kind of keep stirring your gel coat for a little while because you'll feel this stuff is pretty hot. You should start feeling it get drag on there, feeling it start to kick.
Once you get it to this point, I mean, basically, you have to know when to leave it alone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like something like that. I would come back.
Yep, that's what I was just trying to do.
Okay.
Because these
And so this is what you do.
Yeah. So that way you would have multiple tools.
Yeah.
One of the nice things about these black sticks
Yeah.
is that they
Yeah.
the resin pops off of them.
Oh, that's
That would be like that, but you'd have it so that it'd be flat.
Yeah, because she was asking how, to show it again. So
So you just did that to smooth it,
Yeah.
like through the plastic that it wouldn't stick.
on top, yeah.
Yes. Generally you get you can have 10 to 20 minutes.
Viable.
The more. But this is why you don't do your first shot on the
Then you just stand and start again.
I have some very nice pieces of J24 if anybody wants to borrow them and practice at home. Because I'm not doing this class next year, we'll be doing something else different. Last year we did epoxy. First year I did plumbing. Next year I'll do, last year I did epoxy. This year was gel coat because these guys had these pieces of J24 left over. So if any,
And I'm pretty sure I put it on the evaluation last year. Please do a class on gel coat.
well, and then it happened that
I
this J died, and
Can you,
some of the
like,
guys
paper
at
towel in my
South Shore
pocket?
were chopping it up and throwing stuff around.
All right, so you're gonna take your rubber scraper and scrape off the
So you take off the excess.
Okay.
Not with a rag, because like a rag is
Yeah, I
going to
see
pull it
that,
out
yeah.
here.
That's what I noticed. I wanted to try
gonna
to
pull-
see what it would do.
Yeah.
And if you make a mistake and it gets hard, then you just
Sand.
So you can sand it off, grind it off, start over. But again, like this kind of thing where we're smearing it all over the place,
You have it taped off.
we would have it taped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So normally you have
messy.
tape.
Well, it's because we only have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, because we had 5 minutes.
They came in and said, "Oh, you only have 5
area where there's these two tires.
I know, really.
So you would like come and put tape on both sides
Yeah.
of this?
Yeah, you remember how I had the tape on
On
this
this
thing?
one,
Yeah.
But it was kind of far away from it.
Yeah.
So on this one,
Yeah,
how
you
close
close.
did you
Yeah,
get to it?
as close as you can.
Okay.
And it won't be white on green.
No.
It would be.
Good luck for us.
Appaloosa, some people really like Appaloosa. No, this I left it white on green so that you can see what's going on.
But otherwise, you would take the green that you just
Right.
mixed up and use
Yeah.
that.
Probably if I had a big project like this, I'd probably make like a pint of green with the color. And then you come out and you do a tablespoon of that.
And it's going to be different
To
based on
work.
which part of the boat it is.
if you've sanded down past the oxidation,
It should be all.
you should be back to the same color.
Okay.
Then you get how old's the boat, how has it been waxed at all in its entire life.
I only mention this because my ex-husband had a green boat that he had re-gel coated 4 times because he never accepted their work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, colored boats are like.
But,
Red is the worst. Red fades just so much.
Looks like
Yeah.
At the same time, deep dark colors you can say take lots more pigment. They'll show the contrast. White, however, is probably people say, "Oh, white, that's easy."
it's not. That's why I'm going to Memphis and getting
White
my
is
own
not
Yeah.
white all the time.
Because you have
Yeah.
gray, white,
don't you
you have
have
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a little bit of
The
here,
crew,
there.
yeah.
In the handout of stuff, there's on one of the pages is Evercoat has a where you start and kind of where you can kind of go to bridge off to different colors and what will add back and forth if you really want to get to this frame of mind. You can have now what we did for my boat is I had Scotty Laurie, who has a excellent eye, mixed up half a quart of gel coat to my color. Because it was like, a Swedish boat from 1986. Nah.
So you did this proactively before you had the need for it? Or you
Oh, no, we had the need for it right away because we picked up and moved all this hardware. And you can still see I got all these little pock marks all over my boat. Which is with gel coat and doing your deck. Where's that little wad? So a hole like this is like where we move something in the deck. So that's my non-skid pad. Okay, so it's got like silicone caulk all over it right now, but that's a non-skid pattern. So what I would do with that is come in, get your
I want to say Clark
Cavasil
Phoenix, it's still attached.
built up, put a whole bunch of wax on that.
Oh,
like a little stamp.
Yeah?
so smart.
Oh.
And
So that's what you were saying is after we do this and take the tape off, then you use that little flat thing to smooth it off.
Yeah.
And then
So this will be the texture. This is a very random pattern that's my gel coat. On your sheet, there's a place called Maz that they make some of the stock, more modern gel coat patterns. It's the same way as like putting those stamping things on concrete.
Yeah.
Cool. Same concept. Alrighty.
details.
And so is
Shoot,
that the
Look at
last?
the door.
Is that the last step?
I mean, Wendy,
Okay, so then now you got that, you feather it out, you sand it, you get it smooth, then you do the 500, then you do the 1,000, then you do the 15, then you get the whatever.
I was going to say
Gotcha.
getting high.
Yeah, and then so then you go down to the repair. Now you have to bring it back up, and you go through all those steps that we started earlier.
Awesome.
Cool.
I'll take you up on your